Hey guys, Jennifer here with another one. So listen, what we are going to talk about today as you watch the traffic fly by my house, sobriety. How it changes the traffic in your life. I had 2 pieces of juicy fruit. I had to eat it. Listen, if you have a problem with your kids eating fruit, check out Welch's Juicies. You will only have a problem keeping them in the house. Anyway, they can take with them everywhere. Like, they're easy peasy. It's like $10 for 40 packets. You're good to go. They can get 2 packets every day. And you don't even have to worry about giving it to them every day. But 2 boxes gets a kid through with 3 bags every day. Woo. Close to. Anyway, mom's got it. The 2 boxes would be mom gets a sneak in there too. Yeah. I gotta get her some too. Listen. Anyway, let's get back to sober. If you're getting sober, one of the first things that you're going to be doing is shifting the way that you eat. We have green and pink in the atmosphere right now. Just wanted to put that out there. We also have some yellow out here. It's like a lime green that I'm seeing with a mauve pink. I don't know how that's going to relate to somebody, but anyway, if that relates to you, this might be your message. Okay, this is really for anybody who wants to get sober. Like, it's not easy. It really is not easy, but it's the best decision you can make for yourself. There are so many things out there that people miss out on because they're intoxicated. For instance, from my past, even though I was prescribed my medicines and had that excuse to say the doctor gave it to me, I was still ashamed to go out in the audience, out in the crowd, out where people were around. Ashamed, first of all, that I was the age I was, bent up, broken, and having to rely on medications for the rest of my life. Kind of messed me up. Like the whole thing, it all just messed me up, you know? But it made me grow. Like, here we are now, and I've learned a lot, and I've grown. We gotta pay homage to the bikes. Listen. Listen, that was confirmation. Sometimes, and in most cases, your sobriety is going to require, listen, it is going to require, no compromise, it is going to require a lot of solitude. It is going to require a lifetime dedication. It is going to require you coming to the realization that you are worthy of a life more fortunate. I can throw a lot of names out there right now. That's just wasting video because there's a lot more out there we don't know the names of that could use the help as well. So this goes out for everybody. No matter how old you are, no matter how long you've been doing drugs, no matter what the doctor has told you, you have the opportunity, the ability, and the tools capable of being free of all of those things. In being free, it brings peace. It brings harmony. It brings renewed dedication to self-worth, value, and appreciation. Sobriety is for everyone. Not everyone is going to find it. Just the same as happiness is for everyone. Not everybody gets to find it, see it, feel it. But it's out there and it's available to everybody. Same as sobriety. If you are dealing with hardships right now and you don't want to go to somebody you know, don't feel ashamed of that. When I took my sobriety seriously, I had to leave my home state of 30, well, at that time it wasn't 30 years, it was like 20, 25 years. But I had to leave my home state. I went to several different rehabs around my area, and every time I got out, I go right back. And that just wasn't enough for me. Like, even though the doctors told me I needed these meds, I have an addictive personality. I wasn't using them correctly. That's part of the story. The rest of the story, I was legitimately in a lot of pain. Going through a crisis where the pain becomes worse because your conditions are not normal or average. So just as an alcoholic or anybody else who takes medications for an ailment, you keep taking until it goes away. You keep taking until it goes away. And if you find other ways to be able to do it, you find other ways to be able to do it. But hey, you're just trying to get rid of the pain. And it just won't go away. Those opioids that they told me that I had to take for the rest of my life. I'm in less pain now than I was when I was taking them. Sure, I have pain every day. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat, and I'm not going to tell you that there's a big, glorious relief as soon as you get clean. And the level of pain is going to be in a way that you can be okay. In many cases, let me put this out here to you as well. In many cases, those of you who are on these opioids, especially if you mix it with things like meth, meth is very draining. Oh my God. You mix meth with anything and it literally depletes your entire system of everything. It's like putting cyanide in your body. And the weird thing about it is the more water you put in your system with that shit in your system, and the more it eats it up. So the only solution is to not put it in your system. But it does intensify the effects of every other drug that's with it. Get this shit off my streets, please. And please get this shit off my streets. Yes, I said my streets. You know why I said my streets? Because my streets are your streets, and your streets are my streets, and these streets are our streets, and they need to be cleaned up. ASAP. I better wait. Okay, listen, it is what it is. And what the time that me help me get these drugs off the street. I am not the only person out here who legitimately can say that they could use some assistance when it comes to release of pain. However, after 7 years of being off of those medications, I can tell you that my days have been easier without having to wonder if that today that medicine's gonna work. It didn't work yesterday, it didn't work the day before, it didn't work when I was taking just a little, and it didn't work when I was taking a whole bunch. It made me feel like one day it was going to work, like a cheating husband. They make you feel like they're going to be good to you. They make you feel like they're never going to cheat on you again, but every time they get drunk, there they go again. That's addiction, babies. That's addiction. And just like addiction, those are bad habits that need to be broken. When you release addiction, the things that you put up with, the things that you want to be around, every bit of that shifts. And for a minute, 2, 3, maybe even 4, you're going to feel guilty. Because the same people that you said you would always be there for are the same people that you are now despising. Or just plain not wanting to be around. For many reasons. Some reasons, after you sober up, you realize they weren't your friends after all. 90% of the time, your drug dealer is not really your friend. They're just being nice because they're taking your money, man. Listen, your drug dealer is not your friend. Your pharmacist is not your friend. Your doctor is not your friend. You are your friend. Get your ass up every day. Find some way to figure out a better way to take care of yourself. Listen, I've been doing a lot of resting lately. Been a lot of... And I've learned so fucking much. And one of the things that I've learned is that every bad habit has a good habit that it can be replaced with. It doesn't matter if it's chewing too much. It doesn't matter if it's the drugs or the alcohol or the eating or the gambling. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're going to work on the gambling and the eating later. This channel mainly focuses on the concerns of drug addiction. However, eating and gambling plays a big part, especially if you do drugs. They sometimes go hand in hand. Eating becomes a habit and an addiction that can be replacing a drug addiction. Also, often you'll come across where an addict gets fat. They could be skinny all their life, especially if they're on them drugs. You get somebody on meth, if they're fat, they just sit on their ass way too much, and they must not be doing very good dope, because if you can sit on your ass on dope, that cook needs to be taught something. I'm just saying. Like, I'm not trying to say, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, look at the product. If you are putting that shit in your system and it's causing all of these health issues for you, all of these personal issues, you're mad all the time, you can't get along with everybody, you don't understand shit, your memory is gone, you're faded the fuck out 90% of the time that you are around. When you get sober, all that shit shifts. And you don't... There for a minute, you're going to sleep a lot. You really are. You're going to sleep a lot. But when you wake up, you're going to need things to do. Eating isn't one of them you need to be doing. If you're going to eat, make it healthy choices. Meat, fruit, water. You can overhydrate. I want to put this out here before the summer gets too hot. For those of you, I want you to remember that last year we had somebody that, it was a mom, and she was hydrating herself, she was trying to prepare for a hike, I believe is what it was. She over prepared and she overhydrated, and it killed her. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying 6 to 8 glasses of water is plenty. If you're going hiking, you can add a couple extra glasses. You do not have to add 10 gallons of fucking water. If you're trying to get off drugs, please do not try to quickly process it out. It's not going to make your, it's not going to make the withdrawals any easier for you. It like, if you're going through withdrawals and you're going through them at home, you're not going through the drug. They've got a new program now that they put you out for like 4 or 5 days, dude. They do an intravenous tap, and they put you out into a coma for like 4 or 5 days while your body literally, and they put you in a hospital. So check it out. I checked it out. Like, I thought it was awesome, dude. They make it easier and easier every day for you to get sober. There's no reason why you can't. It doesn't you don't have to pay nothing to get sober. You don't have to be in a certain place to get sober. You can get sober from anywhere. You can do it all by yourself, or you can do it with a bunch of motherfuckers. You gotta get sober. You gotta get sober. I'm not gonna deal with this world. I'm just not going to. You gotta get sober. You have to. Like, for you, it ain't even about me, but I'm tired of looking at you like, I see so much potential, but you're busy sticking something up your nose or in your arm you're not supposed to. Bitching at me because I'm telling you that, hey, I've been there before. The other side is greater. Won't you join me for a minute or two, or maybe even 3? Stick around. Just a time or two. Look around. Do you see any drama? Do you see any fucking bullshit? I mean, like, literally, let's outside of, I don't know how to understand what that is, so we're not gonna mention that, because I'm safe. Like, I'm not being hurt. I'm fighting for things, but I'm not hurt. I need to put that out there too. I'm not hurt. I'm safe. I'm not I'm being threatened not to go anywhere as well. Like, you're not going anywhere. You're staying right fucking here. You're a Detroit girl and you're going to stay right here. Fucking get your shit together too. And that makes me feel good. Detroit, thank you for not giving up on me. Because I've been a hateful bitch at times. But it's because I'm loving, dude. I see things and I hear things and I feel things. And for fuck's sake, dude. Sobriety is the way to be, man. It just is. It just is. Like, these days, our grandparents aren't even sober. They're drinking or drugging of some sort. And there's a grandpa I watch on TikTok, and he likes his Coors beer. I love beer. Don't get me wrong. Listen. I drink ginger beer sometimes just because I miss the taste of beer. Budweiser is my favorite, but it's not good for me, and I'm not good when I'm on it. Therefore, I have to find other things to satisfy me, but he gives me good advice, and he's good. Like, he's like, I'm doing fine. For some people, that's cool. Some people can live their entire lives drinking and drugging, but they're not out here in the fucking streets making a big fucking... There are functioning people. But still, yet, I would still ask that man, and I did mention to this man, that alcohol did cause me a lot of issues, and that I am against it. But I do appreciate him and his gift of being able to be an advisor to me. Dude, I miss my grandpa. Like, he kind of started coming across my FYI page, and I was like, I saw he lifted that beer up, and I was like, oh God, please. But his messages were good, and I was like, okay. Sometimes people are trying to get my attention by using beer, because I know that's my favorite. And my grandpa used to like Coors. So that really got me, because my grandpa liked Coors beer, and he's drinking Coors beer, and I'm like, oh, that's my grandpa, man. Anyway, Listen, he's another example as to why it's so fucking important for me to see you sober. Because if he can give good advice like that, imagine what he could be doing if he wasn't drinking. And you're like, why can't you just accept people for the way they are right now? Because God sent me here to show you that you can be better than you are today. Every day there's something about you that can change. I'm not supposed to whittle waddle around in poverty and low level vibrations, and neither are you. I'm not supposed to be settling to see you waste your life away, and you're not supposed to be letting me waste mine. It's a team effort. Really, it's a team effort, and part of my effort is helping you understand and appreciate the value of being sober, especially if you've been down that fucking road that I've been down. Fuck, dude, it's not easy going back on your word. I'm that Gen X too, just like you, that said, in my 20s, I was just like you. I was that girl that we locked down an entire fucking... Listen, you will not see the class of 1993 posted up at my high school. But the class of 1993 at Cumberland County High School in Crossville, Tennessee, made sure that our athletics department and our music department got to stay for the next generation. I know all about being a Gen X. I also know about standing up to the authorities, standing up for what is right. That's a Gen X. But we made some wrong decisions along that way, trying to empower ourselves. But we wouldn't be where we are today, knowing what we know today, if we would not have made those decisions. But it is okay for us to go back on those decisions and say, I don't want to drink anymore, because I found out that maybe it wasn't really that good of an idea. I don't want to do the drugs anymore because turns out they really do bring you down. Like that moment when you realize that advice you were being given, don't go to the street, don't do the drugs, don't go out after 11 o'clock. They were trying to help you. But God damn it, why do they have to be so right? I'm so powerful. I'm a Gen Xer. I do what I want, when I want, how I want, and nobody took the time to tell me any different, except when I wanted to do something I wanted to do. The sex before marriage, that's another one. Whew, Lord, listen. We got 12 and 13-year-olds been getting pregnant as long as we can remember. It's in the Bible, it's in everything. Why? Who cares? Understand that if you're 12 or 13 years old listening to this right now, you have at least 60 more years left of your life. Do you want to pin yourself down with a baby right now? Or would you like to go out there and find out what life is all about? Because even if right now, countries are locking down and not allowing, especially Americans, to cross their borders right now, you can travel inside your country. And without a baby, it's a lot cheaper. Without a baby, you can do a lot more, you can learn a lot more, and when you get 30, 40, 50 years old, and you finally figured out what it is that you want in life, who it is you want in life, and how that person is for you in your life. You've gone through the occasions of needing that affection and attention, of selfishness. You've gone through the overspending and overindulgence. You've gone through the lessons learned, okay, mom and dad, you might have been right about this. Now it's time for you to have a kid. Find your spouse. Settle down. Find a house. Get a small one so you can have several around the country where you can save on hotels and lavish expenses and just make a home wherever you go. There's a formulation that can work for everybody. It might not fit completely, and nobody's journey is better than anybody else's, and nobody's journey is specifically the one you're supposed to be taking. It's whichever one fits for you the best. But from the journey that I have been looking at and been driving down, this is the representation that I found. We fucked up on a lot of things. But there are so many more things that we have been able to bring to fruition to give us the opportunity to shift in better ways than anybody has ever seen before in ever existence. And all it takes is for everybody to drop the drugs, the violence, and the alcohol. It's really not that hard. I'm going to bring an example up. And this example is just an example. However, I'm going to name bomb you because you need help. And this is me offering you help. And you're going to come on the screen and you're going to say, I don't need your help. I'm okay. Stick another straw up your nose, bitch. Then holler at me when you're losing Papa Bear. And it's too late. Now listen, for those of you who already fucking know that's the only way I'm going to listen. That boy needs his mama. And you're the only one who can give him that. You have an opportunity to shift your life around. And all it takes is admitting that you have a problem and then taking the steps to amend it. Period. You can do this at home. You can do this with other people. You can tell everybody you're doing it, or you can keep it private. But I promise you, as a woman who has spent 15 years fighting to get back into her kids' lives, you better start sobering up now, because those years, they pass by. They don't stand around and wait for you to decide that it's okay. And my shit wasn't even, listen, I didn't lose my kids because of drugs. I lost my kids for other reasons. But as a mother who's lost her kids, who did, after she lost her kids, go to drugs. And it made it harder for her to have a relationship with her kids. And I'm still fighting for a relationship with my kids. Because I chose to ail myself with drugs and alcohol. And I'm asking you, Nikki, to love yourself and love your son enough to check into a rehab. You can call me every day. I won't tell nobody. I'll even sign an NDA. Okay? I'll sign an NDA. I'll be your friend. I'll be your sober friend. I don't mind. I'll do that. God had my back when everybody threw me away. Everybody threw me away. I didn't have a very stable environment anyway, but still, they were there. And that presence, it makes a difference. Good or bad, it still makes a difference. So I know what it's like to be alone. I know what it's like to be on your ass and having to fucking rise yourself back up. And whether or not you want to admit it, you're on your fucking ass, Nicki Minaj. And you need assistance. You don't have to get it from me. But I've been where you're at. And I know how to get out of it. And you know as well as I know, there's only one reason why I'm still sitting in poverty. But God wanted me here for a minute for a reason. So I'm going to stop complaining about it, because if I had not, I wouldn't have the opportunity, look here where the kitty's playing, to talk to you and say, hey, you have a lot of fucking people out here that count on you. They may not fucking spend money on you, but people don't spend money on me. Listen, I love that lady and I'm grateful for everything that you're doing. But I want to put this out here as well. And I love grooving with you. I love being able to go back and forth. There's a lady, I don't know if you see her stuff or not, but I see her stuff. And listen, she's on the same level as me, and we can talk and discuss and we can converse, and like we grow. Like those are conversations that I love to grow with people, where you're bouncing knowledge back and forth, and it's not a fight or my information is better than yours. It's you're just exchanging information. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, and your perception shifts and you're growing. Anyway. You, Nikki, I just erased some of your songs. Don't get mad at me. I needed some storage for my email. Look, you were an anthem for me, man. Back in 2017, 2018, 2019. Dude, I was trying to learn how to, I don't even know the name of the song, the one where you're chop suey song. I used to love that song, dude. I was like, I'm gonna be Nicki Minaj one day. Look, I mean, like I really was. And then I got to know what kind of person you were. And I was like, God damn, that girl needs some help. But you know, I need help too. I'm not all perfect. I'm not all holy. I am all holy, but I'm not all holy. The world needs you to not bow down to that rhythm of bankruptcy and failure. We need you to stand the fuck up and remember who the fuck you are. Stop gatekeeping and let these motherfuckers that are up in here doing the damn thing help you. Because somewhere along the way, you lost your light. And it's gonna take you working with others to get it back. You've literally drained it. Stop being mean to other people. That's not going to get your life back either. And this fucking, I'm not going to give you marriage. That's on you. You do you. I've made bad mistakes myself. But I'm single. Been single for almost 10 years. I don't want somebody else's man. I don't want to be involved with somebody who doesn't pick me to be with, want to grow with, learn with. But yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot that's been changing since I've been in the business. And I'm not really stuck into the business. But the sobriety levels are incredible. I'm so excited at the different shifts that have happened. Even though, you know, I am not where I believe I should be. God said you're right where you're supposed to be, because you had to take a moment to gather the crowd. You had to take a moment to sober them up so they can even understand what the fuck you're talking about. Oh. Well, when you say it like that, I can accept that. Because who wants to sing in front of an empty crowd? There is no crowd when it's empty. And who wants to sing to people who don't understand what you're saying? Nobody. Alright, off of Nikki, on to everybody. I'm sending you blessings, and like I said, I don't mind an NDA. I don't have a problem with that. You need somebody to talk to, you need me to come up with an herbal concoction for you today so that you don't do the do-do, okay? I can do that for you. I need you to do this today. I can do today. I can do that for you. I can do that for you. I want you to be happy. I want you to have an opportunity. I get mad. I'm not going to lie. I get mad at you guys sometimes. I do, and I'm like, I want you to feel what you made me feel, losing my kids for 15 years, having to go through all this shit. I want you to feel it, and then I'm like, that's just cycling the goddamn shit all over again. If I'm pushing the same stuff back onto you, that's just creating another cycle of karmic explosion. And we're trying to overcome the darkness. So it has to be squashed, which means you have to straighten up. I'm not going to come back at people no more with return to sender, return to sender. My return to sender is you have no choice but to get the fuck off the goddamn drug, straighten your ass up, and fly right.